Having a say at the summit. Hello, Wyoming. I'm Mick Burge with news on the Cowboy State News Network. This report is a service of Another Wyoming Weekend, brought to you by the Wyoming Travel and Tourism Division. Wyoming was well represented at yesterday's Presidential Healthcare Summit in Washington. Both Wyoming Senators Mike Enzi and John Barrasso took part in it. Enzi says he does like the idea of insurance exchanges that are being touted by the president.
And the reason I like the exchanges is it's kind of a form of bidding. It's more transparency. People can see what they're buying, and that would be a big help. When we were in the shoe business, my wife used to, after 10 years, she decided she'd bid out our insurance. We didn't know there was that much flexibility in insurance. She saved a bunch.
Enzi says he wants the insurance exchanges to include all insurance plans. Meanwhile, Barrasso, who's also a doctor, says the key to fixing healthcare is to deal with the unhealthiest people.
Half of all the money we spend in this country on healthcare is on just 5% of the people. Those are people, for the most part, that eat too much, exercise too little, and smoke.
Now, both Wyoming senators want the president to scrap the Democrat-backed bill that has passed both houses of Congress and start over with a step-by-step approach to reform health care insurance. Some political analysts say the summit was a lost opportunity for both Democrats and Republicans, saying too much time was spent yesterday on political posturing rather than using the summit to exchange actual ideas for health care insurance reform. Here at home, Governor Freenthaw is scheduled to undergo eye surgery on Monday. Freentath's office says the surgery is a routine outpatient procedure on his tear duct. Secretary of State Max Maxfield will serve as acting governor while Freenthaw is in surgery. Freenthaw is expected to resume his duties Monday afternoon. And a portion of a century-old cattle ranch in southwest Wyoming will be preserved under a conservation easement. The Wyoming Game and Fish Department says it has secured a 2,400-acre conservation easement with the Diamond H Ranch near Kimmer. It's a crucial range for elk, deer, moose, sage-grouse, and antelope.
It's another Wyoming Travel and Tourism Department.
This is the Cowboy State News Network. A Sheridan grandfather scammed out of a lot of cash. Hello, Wyoming. I'm Mick Burge with news on the Cowboy State News Network. This report is a service of Wyoming Gardens. A grandfather wanting to help his grandson. Nothing wrong with that, except when the grandson is not who his grandfather thinks he is. Sheridan County Sheriff Dave Hoffmeyer says a Sheridan man was scammed out of $12,000 recently. Hoffmeyer says the Sheridan man wired the money to a man in Canada who claimed to be his grandson in need of money. Hoffmeyer says the Sheridan man had no reason to not think it was his grandson because he has a grandson who actually visits Canada quite often. Hoffmeyer tells affiliate Caraway, if anyone gets a call like this, please use caution.
If you get a call like this, take your time, work it out, call the rest of the family, call somebody else, call law enforcement if you have to, and find out before you start sending money to anybody.
Hoffmeyer also says the chances the local man has of getting his money back are slim to none. A Gillette family is suing the city after officials built a storm drain through their land in the mistaken belief the city had an easement for the property. Randy Sinclair is asking for $250,000. City Attorney Charlie Anderson says the city of Gillette is trying to negotiate with the Sinclairs but have not been able to settle on a price. And a 54-year-old man from Clark is forbidden from owning any livestock in the next 8.5 years after pleading no contest to 19 counts of animal cruelty. Prosecutors say James Wilcox failed to provide enough feed for his horses. Park County deputies seized 51 horses from Wilcox's property last June after finding little feed available to the animals. You're listening to the Cowboy State News Network
at infowyo.com.
I'm Mick Burge, and you're listening to news here on the Cowboy State News Network.